Our hearts are filled with so many emotions as we begin this day together, as we've begun many of them in the past 5 years.
By saying, good morning, Guild.
Good morning, Jim.
And if you're joining us from another time zone where it's past morning, then I say good day to you. Welcome to our 2020 Fall Fundraiser. It's a fundraiser like no other we've had in a year like no other we've had. Yet just as the Guild has done for 40 years now, the mission was served and the Guild magic happened.
Back in March, it became apparent that our summer was not going to be like the summer we had planned, like summers that we had had in the past. And we needed to create something new together. Online programming became our bridge, and we're still on that bridge. And we have people calling in from places like England and Germany and Australia over the summer and today. And what we have heard time after time is that this adaptation, this pivot has made participation possible. So a big thank you to Gray and Linda, our partners in this pivot, and to the 31 Guild faculty who said yes to the invitation to try something different, to teach online with us in 2020.
As we reflect on our time at the Guild, we are ever so thankful for this place and this supporting community, all of you. We are filled with gratitude. To Rich and Liz, what an amazing place and legacy you created that has served us so well these past 40 years. Liz, we are grateful to know you and call you friend. Our journey at the Guild began with then Director Dan Oberg warmly greeting us and showing us with great love how to care for this place. My years at the Guild taught me so much about community and the power of art. I saw over and over again that it's difficult to talk about your art without talking about your life, and that images and creative expression can be more impactful than words.
Day-to-day operations of the Grünewald Guild depend on a pocket full of people who are willing to inhabit humble and creative ways of being. We are thankful for the many Guild staff who have served this community over the years. We especially want to name those who have lived and served alongside us. So a big hand for Scotty, Sarah Jane, Ron, Anne, Bethany, Maris, Courtney, David, Gray, and Linda. And to all our faculty, we look to the day for your return to teach on this campus again. Thank you for your tremendous dedication to the Guild.
And I want to give a special shout out because I know some of the faculty with us today had to have me as a student. Bless you. Thank you. I loved it and enjoyed it. We also thank the board who has guided this place for 40 years and today's event committee, Leave, Mary, Gloria. Special thanks to Mary of EP Events and Amy Wickstrom of Wickstrom Consulting for helping drive the vehicle of this online event today. And I also have to just thank so many of our retreat partners that have spent time with us over the years at the Guild. I want to give a special shout out to L'Arche Seattle, who is joining us this morning. It is awesome you are here. You're amazing people. We loved being with you and your stays here.
And now, this is our opportunity to express our debt of gratitude for each of you. It's going to sound like a cliche, but there is a profound truth in this, that we are here because you are here. Your support, your showing up, your participation means that we get to keep being the Guild. And so here we go. We raise our glasses to you. for the warm-heartedness that you have given us over these years, for a little piece of spirit that somehow mysteriously stays here on the campus when you leave, and for that part of the Guild spirit that you take and carry with you and share with the world. We say,
cheers to you, Grünewald Guild. And now we invite our dear friend, Pastor Leave Larson Andrews, who currently serves on our board and who, by the way, was born the same year the Guild was created. We invite Leave to join us or lead us in our opening prayer.
So, I echo Jim and Vonda's gratitude, deep gratitude for all of you and your being here when the here is not the same. And I am grieving that we can't just wander over to the buffet table and have some of Scotty's egg bake and the granola and all the things that, you know, we typically associate with this day. But as we've had to pivot, Jim and Vonda used the word of 2020, pivot, and let so many things go, we get to receive other tremendous gifts. And so we have this platform and this space, cyber space, digital, mystical space to share and to be together. So thank you so much for your presence. Let us pray. Holy Creator, you are the good gatherer. The barn fills with grain. The cup flows with wine. Our hearts brim with gladness, all because you are good and generous. In this season of scattering and separateness, come again now to bless this gathering. Come from the four winds, come from the many rivers, come from cybernetics and digital sparks. Come and hallow our connections, our stories, our treasured memories, and our daring dreams of the future. And here and now, make of us together a good harvest, nourishment, beauty, and bravery for the days to come. Amen. So in our togetherness and separateness in all our many spaces, what a joy to see all of those geographic locations you are greeting each other from, England and Indiana and Canada. We are a truly international gathering today. So we've got this format of Zoom, and Zoom allows us to get into breakout rooms and have a little time of fellowship. And isn't that such a gift of time at the Guild, is just fellowship together. We have themed all these breakout rooms based on the Guild geography. And so you are able to select an actual spot at the Guild that might be your favorite. I also want to, though, especially welcome any of you who may have never set foot yet on that physical campus. I could see Vonda's heart breaking for the feet that have not walked the campus this summer, but we trust that we will again be able to gather in those trees and along the Wenatchee River. And so if you've not done that yet, you too are welcome, deeply welcome here to gather together in our breakout rooms. And so off we go. Blessings on your conversation.
Welcome back, everyone. It is truly a delight to be together as we gather from far-flung places around the world. I'm Lori Riddell, the current board president of the Grünewald Guild and the former chair of the Executive Director Search Committee. It is my great honor to introduce you to the next Executive Director of the Guild, Brian Johnson. Brian, a Lutheran pastor, liturgical scholar, and university administrator, most recently served as the inaugural Assistant Vice President for mission and ministry at Valparaiso University. While at Valparaiso, he built a new division into a flourishing organization and oversaw the construction of the Helge Center. He is the co-director of the Institute of Liturgical Studies and will continue to serve in that role. You can read more about Brian's many accomplishments on the Guild's website, but what I want you to know, what the search committee and the board would like you to know, is that Brian embodies the character, kindness, and creativity inherent in the Guild. His life work is a manifestation of art, faith, and community. We believe that Brian has the capacity to build on our existing excellence and move the Guild into its future with confidence and with grace. Now, let's meet Brian.
What a thrill to be able to greet you today. I come to you filled with such gratitude that I've been invited to join you in the blessed work of nurturing beauty, belief, and belonging. In a world that is of late so often devoid of these central anchoring ideas, the Guild remains a kind of a beacon, a safe harbor, a shelter, while at the same time an incubator of imagination. It's really quite a wonder. I can't wait to get to know each of you, and I so look forward to a lingering conversation on the banks of the Wenatchee, that glistening sun dancing on her river current. At the same time I get a chance to say hello, though, I want to acknowledge the goodbyes ahead for those of you who love Jim and Vonda. I've gotten to know them quite a bit over these last few weeks. We've had weekly calls that will soon expand to a 10-day kind of intensive day, a week of conversations. But what I wanted to do is to just honor the emotion of the day and to know that I know that your hearts are full of memory in your relationships with them. So it's a very tender thing. So it was such a privilege to join in conversation with the search committee and later on with the board of directors. And I want to say a word of thanks for the very careful process that has brought me here today. I've also been able to participate in some classes already at the Guild, a great one on poetry a couple of weeks ago, and then a day immersion on All Saints. Yet even before those recent experiences, I've known of the Guild long before. I've known of the astounding teachers. And in those workshops, I got to see up close the kind of creative spirit that guides the work that seeks to touch the eternal. But while I've been at Valpo and co-directing this Institute for Liturgical Studies, during our spring conference each year, there's always, or there's often, not always, but often been a Guild presence leading and teaching. But moreover, from day to day, whenever I would walk out of my office on campus, I would see paintings on the walls of buildings by Rich Kammerer, who taught in Valpo's art department from 1958 to 1980. So there's been a connection with the Guild over all these years. I knew you before I imagined joining you and your commitment to art, faith, and community, which have now been unwavering for 40 years. Now, as the Guild crosses this anniversary threshold, I find myself looking forward with so much anticipation and a deep conviction that the Guild will remain a safe place where intention and creativity, coupled with unbridled imagination, will continue to receive inspiration. I grew up on a small Scandinavian dairy farm among the Norwegian pines of northern Minnesota. I remember fondly my grandma weaving at her floor loom. My mom was a bit of a painter, and I can still smell her oils and acrylics and turpentine. My father tending to the garden and working on construction projects because we lived out in the country. An appreciation of fine arts, especially music, was cultivated early in my family. And it's really followed me both as a practitioner and a teacher in my work with icons and also my care for architecture that's sustainable. And now over these last 20 or so years, the relationship between art and ritual, how beauty shapes our world and how we share in common rhythms and patterns of prayer have been at the heart of my life's work. For the last few years, I've been called to both seminary and university settings where this commitment to beauty and my love for art has been trying to nurture future generations of artists. And that commitment will remain now unwavering as I join the Guild. But particularly, the reciprocal relationships between truth, justice, and beauty, and how they all sort of dance together and inform each other, will continue to be a central concern as I join the work at the Guild. We're at a prescient time in our shared cultural history where shared commitments seem to have evaporated. What's so unique about the Guild is that it remains a place, an icon, if you will, where not only beauty is created, the whole place is iconic in itself. It's a vision of how the world should be. So it is with these beginning words of a greeting that I await the next times we will see each other, probably initially virtually a bit, but soon in real time and place, as I look forward to those encounters when I head to the Guild in mid-January. In closing, thank you so much for taking some time today and joining this fall fundraising event. And I will relish our shared commitment to the work of the Guild. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Jan Christ. I've been teaching at the Guild, doing the songwriting workshops for the last 13 years or so, maybe a little longer. And I'm going to share a song with you today that I just kind of feel like is something that hopefully will lift people's hearts in these tough times. Let's talk about fear, being afraid and the toll that it takes on us every day. Pain, grief and doubt and the way that it pulls us inside out. When you think that nothing is gonna change, just leaves you prisoner to the pain. But what makes the abused refuse to back down? What makes the broken stand their ground? What makes the heart start to believe? What is the gift that faith receives? What is the soul of the mystery? And what breaks the hold of brutality? Hope, eyes wide open, hope, unbroken hope. Let's talk about what has become of the faith that we gave, the things that are done. Faith in something bigger than us, more real than the people who vie for our trust. 'Cause trust can be abused, truth can be betrayed. So how is anything ever supposed to change? Oh, what makes the abused refuse to back down? What makes the broken stand their ground? What makes the heart start to believe? What is the the gift that faith receives? What is the soul of the mystery? What breaks the hold of brutality? You and me and hope, eyes wide open, hope, unbroken hope. Oh, it's hope, eyes wide open, hope will unbroken hope. It's hope, eyes wide open, hope will unbroken. Thank you.
Do you guys all have your words? So, okay. All right. Because we've never sung this song. So this is going to be quite a lot of fun.
Speaker of wisdom, painter of visions, did heed and give the call. Our spirits are renewed here in this gift from you. We thank you all. And so we paint God's portraits and weave God's robe, and we bring God's spirit close, close enough to swim or wade. Here in the house that rich made. Work the garden, touch the garment's hem. Ask God to make us whole. Travelers in mystery, in creativity, part of this collective soul. And so we paint God's portrait and weave God's robe, and we bring God's spirit close, close enough to swim or wade. Here in the house that lives made. Walk in thin spaces, Celtic spiral traces, past memory roses bloom beneath tree line under tall pine, and we paint God's portrait and we weave God's gold, and we bring God's spirit close, close enough to swim or wade. Here in the house that faith made. Art and faith create, we here celebrate, unencumbered hospitality of love is reality, inhabiting this place. Everyone, so we paint God's portrait and weave God's robe, and we bring God's spirit close, close enough to slip away. Here in the house that rich made, here in the house that lives great, here in the house that faith made, here in the house that hope made, here in the house that love made.
For the past 2 years, I have had the joy and the honor of asking for your financial gifts in support of the Guild. Last year, I began this way. There is this place strewn with pine cones. Because the truth is, when you walk the property of the Guild, you can hardly take a step before you feel the crunch of a pine cone beneath your feet. I learned last year that in the biology of pine cones, the cone is actually a fruit, a kind of a structure that nurtures 2 pine seeds between each pointed or prickly scale of the cone. This container of seeds is designed to open when the green cones ripen to maturity. By the time we find the cones on the ground, they have fulfilled their purpose and have scattered their seeds to the winds with abundant abandon. This year, everything changed. Or to say it another way, this year has changed everything. Just weeks before we were to gather for Spring Sacred Arts Week, and as the pandemic became an ever more present reality, Jim and Vonda made the difficult and wise decision to move our programming online. For a time, we held out a thin hope that maybe we could perhaps meet in the summer. Okay, not in the summer, maybe in the fall, but as we know, that was not to be. So it is that throughout this year, the Guild property has sat quietly, even as the pine trees have continued to offer up their extravagant gifts of cones and seeds. To say that the property was quiet does not mean that the Guild was quiet. With a pivot that could give you whiplash if you watched closely, Vonda and Jim quickly created a path forward that would, in the end, directly connect the Guild with so many of you who have longed to walk among the pine cones, but for a wide variety of reasons could not make the trek. At the same time as the programming took a quick pivot, Jim and Vonda sought to stabilize our finances, seeking out appropriate funding sources as they became available. We, the Guild community, owe them a deep, deep debt of gratitude for their creativity and fortitude, which has laid a solid foundation for our future. As a retreat center in the Ponderosa Pines, with a focus on art, faith, and community, the Guild will never really be out of the woods, literally or financially. It is our stash of pine cone-like gifts, given with abundant abandon, that make all the difference. That will be especially true in this coming year as we continue to negotiate our life together in the midst of a pandemic. Now, more than ever, I want to lift up the grace of monthly giving. Each month, as I offer my gift, I lift up a prayer of gratitude for this astonishing community of artists and seekers. On a practical level, monthly giving helps even out our cash flow throughout the year. But the truth is that no matter how you give your gift, it will be received with immense gratitude. If you are ready to celebrate the Guild's 40th anniversary with your gift now, please follow the link to the Guild's website where you can make your one-time donation, or pledge to make a monthly gift. The website form will also be available after the event, and office staff will be on hand to receive your donation on Monday over the phone between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific time. Of course, you are always welcome to mail in a gift. Every gift will make a difference. Thank you so, so very much for your abundant generosity.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your generous consideration of the donations to keep the Guild going for another 40 plus years. I get to be a part of the program where we do something fun with words. For everybody who knows me, you know how much I like words and talking. So what we're going to do is create a word cloud. And what that is that we are going to type in words or just like a little phrase offering blessings for the future of the Guild. And you will do that in the comments section. And so I'm turning that on so that I can see when you start to enter. We're going to take all of these and then combine them into something unique that is yet to be known. The way a word cloud also works is that the more often the same thing is mentioned, the bigger the word gets to be in the word cloud when we create this special art piece. So and I know there's just a tinge delay here as you start to enter, but what we're looking for are blessings for the future. I thought it might be fun for someone to type in the word granola, that I am blessing the granola and that we'll all get to gather to have that again in person at the Guild. And if more people say granola, then we will all, that word will get bigger and bigger in our word cloud. I have a thesaurus handy if necessary. And I'm just now waiting for some of you to start typing in again in the comment section. Here we go. Okay, so we want to keep it a little short. Thank you, Jill. No, just like a sentence, a phrase. And if you want to go crazy, go crazy. What the heck? We have a couple minutes here. But I am waiting for granola. Oh, thank you, Shannon. I'm not able to type in while I'm doing this part of it. Oh, this is fantastic. And again, the more times the same word is said, the more attention that word will get when we create our word cloud after this event. So even the word like blessings, talking, blessings of the talking. Oh, these are beautiful. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to. Holler if you need the hard to say, the thesaurus, thesaurus, the thesaurus. I can't say that back to back. You all try that. If you've entered your word, somebody put in the word thesaurus. That would be good too. It's my hardbound one from college, people. I mean, I was super prepared. I didn't want to drop the ball on this. Yeah, Anne is asking, should we be able to see the words? Yes. I could see what you typed. And so they're just showing up there in the comment section, Anne. And in case someone's not on board with the chat, I'll just say we're seeing things like gathering and friends and goodness and colors. And you can just keep those coming. And again, it's just perfectly fine to repeat. Yay, granola in all caps. I love you all so much. And they're still coming. Let's give it about 30 more seconds or so, okay? I almost feel like in honor of Alex Trebek, you can join in. I'll just know that you're doing it with me. Do, 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 do. And you can tell we're about to wind it up. Do, 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 do. Who's gonna get the last word? Do, 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 do. Thank you, everyone. Beautiful job.
Life at the Grünewald Guild is shared. We all are stewards of the mystery of this place, witnesses to creativity and practitioners of the vision.
For us to have lived at the nexus of this community has been a dream come true. Our gratitude runs deep.
You see now a photo from the first director transition, in which founder Rich is giving Dan Oberg a book called The History of Art. In the next photo, founder Liz is placing a red scarf, a mantle that she had woven on Dan.
During the second director transition, Dan gave Vonda and me a book meaningful to him, written by L'Arche founder Jean Venet, called Community and Growth.
Brian, the book I am giving you is this little book that has had big meaning to me while living here at the Guild, called Mystical Hope by Cynthia Bourgeot. There is a generosity of spirit present in the Guild community that connects, that comforts, and that calls us to integrity. What is described in this book will come to life at the Guild.
Brian, my welcome gift for you is our Stir Crazy Popcorn Popper, because it reminds me of the magic of the Guild. Though it's well used like our campus, every time people come to the good soil of the Guild, seeds of creativity are stirred with art, faith, and community, and they produce a crop 30-fold, 60-fold, or 100-fold.
And one last thing. The red mantle that has hung above our desks in the River House now passes to you.
May the gifts of this community come with this mantle. May they be used in service to reach out to those who have yet to experience the love of the Grünewald Guild.
Thank you, Vonda and Jim. Now, the Guild has these magical computers, and with the zippity zap, the mantle and the book have appeared from Washington to the windy city of Chicago. Today, as I humbly receive this mantle, I'm reminded that in Jewish tradition, Elijah went over to Elisha and placed his mantle over Elisha's shoulders, adopting him, investing him with a prophetic voice. In Christianity, women and men in monastic traditions have worn a mantle as a sign of their commitment to simplicity of life and the call to live in community. In Muslim tradition, Muhammad's mantle was seen as his legacy of faith. In Buddhism, the monastic mantle is worn as a sign of reverence. So across all of these religious traditions, a shared symbol: adoption, simple living, a call by a community to live in community, legacy, and reverence. These ancient associations have an echo today as I pray that this mantle of memory blesses the hopeful spaces between us today across much distance. But then in what I pray will be a short time, in the intimacy and thin spaces of the Guild. Recognizing executive directors Vonda and Jim and the current staff, Gray and Linda, for their good work and steady hands, their expansive hearts and tempered thinking, their creative gifts and daily care, a blessing to you. For previous directors, Rich and Liz, and founders, and then Dan as well, and for all the teachers, volunteers, learners, donors, and friends of the Guild, I want you to know that I pledge to humbly join this lineage that's preceded me with gratitude and hope, being reminded of several things. That there's a kind of poetry to sight and sound that brings forth art and music. In this blessing, may we attune ourselves to listen for this poetry and respond to its quiet nudging. That there is a timelessness to art. May we ready ourselves to enter eternity, and may we come close to touch the eternal, and at the same time meet the wonder next to us every day. That there is a call for each of us to make a mark, is what Rich used to say, to bring what we have and what we can to the Guild, and that through observation and reflection, common purpose and creative play, this blessing helps us to find a way. That every piece of art shows us an idea. It's birthed out of a particular place. I pray that the Garden of the Guild will continue to be that location where seeds will bear fruit. And all, both the land and the people, will be tended with care and concern. And that this guild, being a place of teaching and herself is a teacher, we recognize earth and sky, woods and fields, rivers and mountains, so that this school can teach us what we need to learn, that we may be aligned in harmony with its deepest needs. For 40 years, the Guild has been an oasis in the wilderness, an expression of dreams. It's helped us to see the world in new ways. It has brought us to feeling love and life. In a community of mutual reciprocity, may this rooted legacy remain. Finally, with grace and compassion, let us be reminded that love completes all things. Let us continue to surrender to love.
Amen and amen. My heart is incredibly full. What a gift, a tremendous gift to be with you all in this way. I now send you from this space. Hopefully you too have been filled up in a way and equipped and blessed. We are knit together in a community called the Guild, even as we're in our separate spaces. So now, receive this blessing. May God bless and keep us. May God scatter and gather us. May God give us restful Sabbath and bursts of creative energy. May God enfold us into a Grünewald Guild community, no longer scattered, but rather sent to carry beauty into every chink in the wood floor, every crack in the pottery, every street corner sanctuary. May God soon and very soon find our feet wandering again the banks of the Wenatchee. And may God find our ears hearing that clarion bell call to us off the back porch to mealtime and fellowship. May God find our hands stained and sprained and spent with effort at the art of it all, at being people of love in the world, and all for love's sake. And now may God empower you to carry the bold hospitality of the Grünewald Guild into your daily lives and make your mark of love in the world. Amen. Peace be with you all.